Sports fans of all ages, Town Square Media is proud to present to you the best Quad City sports talk radio show in the world. With the face who runs the place, T-Roy, the OG on the marquee, J-Bird, and the cat who runs the chat with the stats, Statman Surge. We are Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're not a Quad City sports talk radio show. We're not the Quad City sports talk radio show. We are your Quad City Sports Talk Radio Show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the dawn.
Hey, it's a beautiful Tuesday out there, Quad Cities. The sun is out. Jay-Bird's smiling.
Yeah, smiling because...
Corral with Cheese is so happy to be here.
Yes.
Sitting in the bomber spot.
Yeah, I'm keeping it warm for her.
You are. You're doing a great job. But anyway, everyone out there in the Quad Cities and across the internet, thanks for tuning in to Don't Hassle So Local. We're here on AM 1170. Jay-Bird, tell them how else they can find us.
You can find us on the app. Go to wherever you download apps, ESPN 1170 AM. Search for that. You can go to ESPN1170am.com and click the upper corner that says, and no, not upper right hand, just right there in the middle. It says on air, listen now, all that fun stuff. And you can watch us on Facebook and on YouTube as well, live. Leave comments, questions, concerns, all that stuff. And if you want to talk with us, you can call into 563-391-3776 and call into the Hassle Castle. All right. Well, there's a lot to unpack here today. We're going to have two guests on the phone. We're going to talk to Cody Stutz. He's a sports guy out of Houston. He writes for SI Now, and he's a Heisman Trophy voter. Tonight is the Heisman Trophy. It's virtual. It's held virtual. It will not be at the Downtown Athletic Club in New York. And it's, I think, the pre-show
First time in how many years it has not been held there?
Oh, that's a great question because it started in, the original name of the trophy is the Downtown Athletic Club, and it was given to the best college football player. Is it east of the Mississippi? Yep. So that's where it was, and that first winner. The next year it was named. So what happened is basically it was real quick. So 1935 is when it was known. It was known as the DAC trophy, the DAC, if you will. It was created by New York City's Downtown Athletic Club. Like I said, it was to recognize.
We used to have a DAC here, Davenport Athletic Club, back in the day.
It was for the best college football player east of the Mississippi. And the very next year, in 1936, the club's athletic director and football pioneer, John Heisman, he passed away, and the trophy was named in his honor. So really the first Heisman Trophy winner is Larry Kelly. But the first in the history of it is...
somebody after that.
No, the first was in 1935.
The guy the next year.
The guy who won it previous when it was called the DAC Trophy.
This is the first guy.
The very first guy.
But the first guy to win it when it was called the Heisman is
Larry Kelly.
And the guy
who won it when it was called the DAC is
I don't know.
Jay Berwinger.
Okay.
Jay-Bird?
Jay Berwinger.
Oh. Let's say Jay was
He's at the University of Chicago.
Okay.
He is originally from Dubuque, Iowa.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. He went to what is now known as Dubuque Senior High School.
Oh,
and
God.
a replica of the trophy is in the gymnasium known as Nora Gymnasium. You can see the replica. Yeah.
Does it look like the Heisman Trophy?
Yeah.
But
I've seen it.
Not called the Heisman Trophy when he got it.
No, it was called the DAC Trophy.
Gotcha.
So,
well, there you have it.
The real his trophy is, I believe, with his sister. I think he left it to his sister. Actually, now it's at University of Chicago in their athletics department, their Hall of Fame.
Oh.
He left it to his sister when he didn't think too much of it. And
was the University of Chicago a Big Ten school at the time?
Yes, it was.
Look at that.
Uh-huh.
See, look at all my knowledge.
Yeah. I don't know anything.
Jay knows all this.
I'm just here to look good.
You're doing a great job, kid.
Yeah, he originally he let his sister have the trophy. I don't know why he didn't want it. She used it as a doorstop. But
well,
yeah. So
trying times probably back then. It was we had this World War II thing going on. You don't know.
Yeah.
When he gave it to her. You know.
Some other things about Jay Berwanger. He
Crazy little bastard in Germany who had to take care of.
in a 1934 game against Michigan Wolverines, Berwanger left his a little scar on future President Gerald Ford.
Oh, yeah?
On his left eye, yeah.
Take that, Jerry.
He received 84 votes that year, finishing ahead of Army's Monkmeyer, Notre Dame's William Shakespeare, his name, and Princeton's Pepper Constable.
I've heard of the Monkmeyer.
He was the first player drafted into the National Football League in the 1936 draft, but he did not play professionally. He did not want to. He was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles. He did not think that they were offering him enough. He wanted $1,000 per game. The Philadelphia Eagles then traded his rights to the Chicago Bears for tackle Art Buss. He decided not to choose with them because instead he wanted to try out for the 1936 Summer Olympics for the decathlon because he was also on track and field team. He was All-American track and field at the University of Chicago as well.
How did he do? Did he make it?
No, he did not make it.
That was 36 Olympics was huge. That was Jesse Owens.
Yep. And then he wanted $15,000.
We beat the crap out
George
of the
Halas
Nazis.
said, "No way, I'm not going to give you $15,000 to play football. I'll give you $13,500." He said, "No way, Jose. No thanks, Tom Hanks."
Thanks, Tom Hanks.
Yeah. He then took a job with the Chicago Rubber
take
Company
that, James Franco.
and became the part-time coach at University of Chicago. He later regretted that he never did accept the offer. Yep. So that's just a little bit of a... I said his sister was his aunt that he left it to, that she was at the doorstep. But that's the history of the Heisman Trophy. The thing I did this because I'm used to, when I grew up, this was on Saturday nights. This would be right about now. It would be on a Saturday. Now with the schedule the way it is, it's kind of moved around, and they want to. But when we talk to Cody, I want to talk to him about what the process that how he voted on. They were due by December 24th, so it's highly.
Who are the candidates right now, Jay? I know some of them. I'm obviously Najee Harris.
I don't think he made the final cut, bud.
He didn't?
Yeah, what? No.
Okay, well, Devontae Smith did, correct?
Yes. The four that are right now the finalists: Devontae Smith, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, and Kyle Trask.
I don't like Trevor Lawrence.
Mac Jones, Kyle Trask.
Mm-hmm. Quarterback of Florida.
Yeah, he's the guy that tries to kill the mutants in Espn, just so you know.
Okay.
Devontae Smith, Mac Jones, Kyle Trask, and Trevor Lawrence.
Yes.
Okay.
Devontae Smith is the high favorite according to odds.
I was going to say that I think Devontae Smith.
He will be the third
wide
receiver
to win it.
Yes.
He is who the other two are.
I do, and I also know one who is a wide receiver / running back, so it's kind of wonky how you do that whole thing.
Well, I know one's Tim Brown.
One is Tim Brown.
And the other one's Desmond Howard.
The other one is Desmond Howard. That is correct.
I got that right the other day.
And the other one that's a wide receiver / running back?
Running back was some guy in like the 60s, you told me.
I don't.
Or who was it?
Well, I know it was Johnny Rodgers. I just got to find the year for you. But that's Okay. So the thing is, what I want to talk to him about.
Najee Harris.
What I want to talk to him about is about the Heisman, because it used to be a much bigger deal, I guess, in my sports world than it is now, and I don't know where the drop off is. Because, I mean,
do you think? I think Devontae Smith deserves it, don't you?
I think so. I'm trying to do in my head how many Heisman Trophy winners could I name?
How many?
Yeah,
I can name quite a few.
I bet you I could get to 15. You think?
Well, let's go together. You ready?
Well, I got to put the list down.
All right.
Well, we just named. Well, we can get to 20.
All right, let's just go last year.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Kyler Murray.
And then we just named
Johnny Football.
Yep. Ricky Williams. Troy Smith.
Tim Tebow. Jameis Winston.
Did Jameis win it?
Yeah. Cam Newton.
Cam won it.
Carson Palmer.
Carson Wentz? No, Carson
Palmer. Played for
yeah.
USC. Matt Leinart.
Reggie Bush.
but he got taken away.
Yeah, but he's still a winner.
So we're at 11. Bo Jackson,
Yep.
Tim Brown,
Yep.
O.J. Simpson,
Yeah.
Marcus Allen.
Did Marcus Allen win it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got
Well-
you got the guy from Ohio State that went back to back.
Earl Campbell?
Earl
No.
Campbell won it, yes,
Okay.
but Ohio State back
Who
to
am I
back.
thinking of? Listen.
Archie Griffin.
Archie Griffin, yeah.
Let's see. You got Desmond Howard. You got
Mm-hmm.
Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah, and then you've got Doug Flutie.
You got
You've
Doug
got
Flutie.
Sam Bradford. You've got
You got some quarterback from Florida in the mid '90s.
like Danny Werfel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said
Charlie Ward.
Okay, you got Charlie.
I
Ward.
think we're there.
We're waiting.
Yeah.
I mean, by the way,
We haven't even mentioned.
Niall Kinnick,
Yeah, we didn't even do that. We
mean,
didn't do
come on.
Roger Staubach.
Roger Staubach. You got
Didn't say Tony Dorsett.
Tony Dorsett.
Didn't say Jim Plunkett.
Didn't Johnny Lujak win it? Or
Yeah, he
won
did.
it? Yeah, there you go.
I didn't know Steve Spurrier won it. What's wrong with
Yeah,
that?
Steve Spurrier won it.
We didn't say Herschel Walker.
Herschel. Nice.
Mike Rozier, we should have mentioned right away. Barry Sanders, we should have mentioned right away. Yeah, so like I said, where's the draft? I'm trying to figure out where the maybe it was the 2006. Maybe that's where it was. The Troy Smith, where he had 90% of the votes, and I was like, not that big of a deal to me.
Yeah.
Tebow, I kind of remember, but I remember like on Saturday nights, like watching it, see what the results are going to be. Maybe it's just because we have so many things to do. Can you name the schools that have the most trophies? Do you think?
Yeah.
There are 3 tied with the most. At 7.
At 7.
Mhm.
Well, Notre Dame,
Notre Dame is one of them.
USC.
USC has 6.
Okay. Michigan.
Michigan has 3.
Notre Dame. Miami.
Miami has 2.
Georgia.
2.
Ohio.
Texas.
Ohio State is one of them. Yep.
Ohio State. Texas.
Texas has 2. The other one is we mentioned. There was that streak that Oklahoma had, like.
Oh,
where they
I
just,
forgot.
I just said Oklahoma. I was about to say the school that put out a bunch of quarterbacks that won it and then didn't do much afterwards. So we'll talk to Cody at about 12:45. 1:15, we'll talk to Emily Van Buskirk. She's our college football expert. Talk to her about the bowl season and preview the Natty. Tonight on ESPN2 at 6:01 our time, Iowa will tip off against Maryland. Iowa, the poll came out yesterday. Iowa's number 5 in the nation. They're 9-2 in the year, 3-1 in the conference. Maryland 6-5 in the year, 1-4. This contest will be the only time that these two will meet in the regular season. This is Luka Garza's final game near his hometown of Washington, D.C., so get ready to put on a show. Other notes for Luka, he passed Aaron White for second place on Iowa's all-time scoring chart last Saturday against Rutgers, and his 256 points from Iowa's all-time leading scorer, Roy Marble.
He had just passed our friend of the show, AC Earl,
Yep.
a week or so prior.
We mentioned him yesterday, Keegan Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting stat about him. He is one of 10 players nationally and the only bench player to record at least 70 points, 45 rebounds, 10 blocks, and 15 steals this season. So he's on his way. A little bit about Maryland.
Bright future for the Hawkeye basketball team there, Coral.
Mm-hmm.
Maryland has...
Aren't you excited?
Yeah.
Okay.
I sure
Maryland-
do like my Hawkeyes.
That away. Maryland has won 5 of its last 6 home games inside the Xfinity Center. Their last loss came over nationally ranked Wisconsin last week. Oh, and I'm sorry, their lone road victory, but they've won 5 of the last 6 in home. And 3 of their players averaged double figures in scoring. Eric Ayala, 14.3. Dante Scott, 12.9. Aaron Wiggins, 11.5. So, again, this is the only meeting for them tonight in the regular season. And so keep your eyes on that. ESPN2 and obviously on the Hawkeye Radio Network, you can hear Bobby Hansen and Gary Dolphin call that as well.
We've had Bobby Hansen on the show, too.
Yeah.
I met
That was
Gary
neat.
Dolphin.
You met Dolph?
Mm-hmm.
Have I met Dolph?
I don't know. You probably were close to him.
It's weird when you're close to him to hear his voice when you're so used to hearing it on the radio.
Yeah, it sounds a little different.
It's just like,
Well, that was like, I ever tell you
You
the
hear
story?
it,
You
you
remember
just like
John
that.
Miller used to do Sunday Night Baseball?
yeah.
So I was at a restaurant in Phoenix once, and he was sitting behind me, and I heard his voice. I'm like,
You're like,
wait a minute. why do I feel like Barry Bonds is at bat right now? And I kept turning around. I'm like, so I sent the guy a beer.
Yeah,
nice.
My bad.
Yeah.
I read that date completely wrong. Why do I have my 5th and 7th off? The game is Thursday night tonight. Thanks, Glancy. I don't know why I'm off on my dates.
Do you need some water?
No, I don't know.
Need a beer?
Coral brought you a beer.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's great. So we also have T-Roy's Power Rankings to do, the final of the season. So we get to take a look at that and compare it to what ESPN has.
If Matt Erickson's listening, you better stay tuned.
And then, you know what else is good when we get to talk to Cody, though? We get to talk about what's going down in Houston because we yesterday, of course, we pointed out, just like everybody else, the job openings and where would be the most, what would be the most, the best place to go to take an NFL job. And we got some places where
you know what
people can go to.
I retweeted something out to you yesterday, Jay. I wanted to. Do you want to talk about that when we come back?
Sure.
Because that'll give me time to look it up when we're at break. But some interesting facts on some of the teams that are without a head coach and where you should or should not want to go.
Why? Because Jacksonville's got the most cap space.
Not just that.
Picks. Okay.
Not just that.
All right. Well, let's take a look at that, and then we'll go into power rankings, and then later on we're going to tier the games going into this weekend, and then give our confidence of who we think is going to win. All that and more here on ESPN 1170 AM's Don't Hassle Us for Local. Thank you for tuning in.
All right, everybody. We've been talking about it for months. Our friends at Tri-City Equipment have been around since 1934. If you own any sort of bar, restaurant, what have you, even if you just want to get something for your home kitchen, check them out. You can go to you can look online at tricityequipment.com, or you can go down to their newly remodeled showroom with over 1,600 items in stock. It's located at 527 West 4th Street in Davenport. Remember, they have anything from kitchen cookware, refrigerations, utensils, tableware, china, furniture, everything. Give them a call today if you have any questions, 563-322-5382. And remember, they do deliver to all Quad City residents, and they match online pricing, Coral. So you know what that means? Yeah, you know what that means?
I love a good price match.
But you know what that means? Shop local.
Heck
Shop
yeah.
local. Jeff Bezos, get out of here.
Get out of here.
Showroom hours are 8 to 5, everyone, Monday through Friday. So please check it out. Tri-City Equipment, 527 West 4th Street in Davenport.
We're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody! You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Rachel Alger with St. Ambrose University, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Come on into Tyson's, more for you.
Look out, Iowa. Winter is here. Don't get caught out in the cold. Head to Tyson's for all your winter shopping needs. Let the machine do the work for you with a new snowblower from Husqvarna, Troy-Bilt, or Honda. Layer up with winter clothing from Carhartt and a new pair of boots from Wolverine. Shop with confidence in person or from the comfort of home on Tysons.com. Tyson's, home, farm, auto.
Come on into Tyson's, more for you.
The Max Kellerman Show.
Like, who was that, Greeny, who said the time to say about personal pride was weeks ago? I mean, I understand what he's saying. He's not wrong. It's fine, but I don't think it would have made a difference. Keyshawn saying they started Foles, and I disagree. The issue is one thing with Chicago. They have no offensive line, period. That's the whole problem. No offensive line. They have a thin receiving core, it's true, but no offensive line. If I had to design a football team, and I have like 10 spots where I can put all my resources, right? Where am I going to put all my resources? Like, what 10 spots do I want covered out of a roster of 50, right? I want a stud quarterback, of course, everyone does. My next 5 spots will be stud offensive linemen.
The Max Kellerman Show. Weekdays at 2 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
If you own a small business, you know how hard it can be to find new customers. But maybe you're unaware of new tools that can help your business stand out. Go to GetLocalCustomersNow.com for a free market competitive analysis that will show you what other businesses are doing to find new customers and how you can do it too. There's no cost and no obligation. Be one of the first business owners to sign up and receive $500 in free advertising on this station. Get started today. Visit GetLocalCustomersNow.com. That's GetLocalCustomersNow.com.
Hey, Quad Cities, this is Jay Bird from ESPN 1170 AM's Don't Hassle Us for Local, and I'm sharing some exciting news with you. BetMGM Sports is coming soon to Iowa. That's right, the same folks that light up the Las Vegas Strip with the world's greatest sports books and casinos will be offering real money wagering on a state-of-the-art app that's easy to use and features all of your favorite sports. Find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks with parlay bonus payouts, in-game wagering, boosted odds specials, daily promotions, and much more. Plus, every time you make a wager, you'll earn credits in M Life Rewards, the exclusive loyalty program of MGM Resorts. Now, every game and every play will mean something more, no matter what your favorite sport is. It's almost showtime, so get ready to experience sports like never before. Be among the first fans in the state to download the BetMGM Sports app coming soon to Iowa. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older. Iowa only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
Is this a championship or bust year for the Brooklyn Nets? It should not be a championship or bust year, considering Kevin Durant is coming off an Achilles injury. Expectations for me, and I'm a Nets fan, would tell you, if we got to the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm okay with that. If they lose, I'll be disappointed, but okay, that's trending in the right direction.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Get out of the house and enjoy beautiful ice sculptures at Ice-Travaganza, January 15th through 17th in downtown Davenport. Stroll by the sculptures on the boardwalk at the Freight House, or you can view these amazing works of art from your vehicle in the parking lot. Sculptures are on display Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and the best time to see them is when they're lit from dusk till 10 o'clock each night. See live ice carving demonstrations in person or on Facebook Live. The Family Credit Union's warming station will provide free hot chocolate by the fire pit at the Farmers Market patio each night from 5 to 6. A shout out to our additional sponsors: Van Horn Auto Group, Front Street Tap Room, Mid-American Energy Company, Metronet, and this station. Please keep this outdoor event fun and safe by social distancing and wearing a mask. What a great way to get out of the house and celebrate winter. Come see the amazing ice sculptures at Ice-Travaganza, presented by the Downtown Davenport Partnership, January 15th through the 17th.
Your home for the NFL. This is the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Don't Hassle Us Local on AM 1170. Thanks for tuning in. As we went to break, I promised everybody I'd pull up something for head coaching positions, Jay, and this comes from a gentleman by the name of Mike Tannenbaum. Mike Tannenbaum. He's a husband and a perfect father.
Oh.
ESPN NFL front office insider. So thanks, Mike.
What you got for me?
All right, here we go. So the 6 teams we know: Jaguars, Jets, Chargers, Lions, Texans, Falcons, all looking for a head coach.
I'm wondering what's going to happen today in Philadelphia. According to ESPN.com, Peterson's supposed to meet with the Eagles owner, Jeffrey Lurie.
Discuss the
but
future.
It's just about their 2021. And basically, it's going to be about Carson Wentz, who said he wants to demand a trade. I don't know what you can get for him.
Carson's gone.
That's too much money. You're going to have to take up.
Well, they screwed up. They signed him to a big contract, and then they bench him. Mm-hmm. Someone's leaving. It's either him or Carson. You follow me?
Him or who?
Doug Peterson's leaving or Carson's leaving.
Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do, or they have to decide if they want to trade.
Or they're going to have to eat some of the salary.
Yeah, they're going to have to. Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. But anyway,
speaking of that,
yeah.
So as you were talking about cap space, and you were absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm going to go through different criteria for each team. Okay, starting with cap space. Jacksonville has the most at $81 million in cap space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Jets at second, $73 million. The Chargers at third with $30 million, and the Lions at fourth at $10 million.
Okay.
Both the Texans and the Falcons are in deficit. Texans 15, almost $16 million in the hole. The Falcons $24 million in the hole. Now here we go for draft picks. Check this out. The Jaguars have 2 first-round picks. One, they get the Rams pick, and they get their own. Okay. They have 2 seconds, their pick, and the Vikings, and they have a third. That's pretty solid.
Yep.
5 picks in the first 3 rounds, and they have 7 picks from the 4th through the 7th round to kind of fill in some gaps with some guys, maybe take a chance on somebody. So they have a ton of potential. So Greenberg, I don't agree with your Texans thing right now.
I don't agree with it.
All right, the Jets, they also have 2 first-round picks. Their first and the Seahawks first. They have 1 second pick, and then they have 2 third picks. Theirs and the Seahawks. And then 5 from 4 through 7. So they as well have 5 picks in the first 3 rounds.
Okay.
Now, the Chargers. 1 first, 1 second, 1 third. But the things you have in place are pretty solid already. Justin Herbert, proven. Wideouts proven. Running backs proven. Defensive ends proven. They have good corners. This is a solid team. Okay?
I'm with you.
The Lions. 1 first, 1 second, 1 third, 2 fourth. I'm sorry, 1 fourth, 1 fifth. Nothing after that. All right? Now, here's where Mike Greenberg, you're completely wrong. The Texans. 0 picks in the first round.
Terrible.
0 picks in the second round. 1 pick in the third. And then you get 5 from the 5th to the 7th. This team's going to be decimated, Jay. They're going to have to find a lightning in a bottle if they want to get any help for Deshaun Watson. And then the Falcons, not much better. They have 1 first, 1 second, 1 third. Now, they do have some things in place, but at the same time, what happens with Matt Ryan? Do you trade Matt Ryan? Who knows? Seeing a lot of different stuff come up on the different mock results. Obviously, Coral, we pulled that up yesterday, if you recall.
Yeah, right
the
here.
Tankathon, if you will.
I already got
and
it.
they have the Falcons taking Justin Fields at 4.
Ohio State.
Okay, I can see this completely because I think it might be time for Atlanta to move on from Matt Ryan.
It might be.
Or keep him around for a year or whatever else. But
if you trade him, where do you trade him to? Because also, if you looked at it, there are some people speculating.
I like the 49er idea.
Well, they're 49ers. They've speculated the 49ers may try to trade up, by the way, to the number 2 and take Zach Wilson from BYU or that kid from North Dakota State.
They think the 49ers are going to trade up?
There's people out there speculating the 49ers are going to try to trade up with the Jets.
They will not. That would put them at 4 quarterbacks in the room?
Yeah. But what do you move on from Jimmy G?
No.
I know he's hot.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I know you want to make out with him. I'd probably kiss him on the
Nick
lips
Mullins
too.
is the
But
guy
I'm just
outside
saying.
looking in there.
Nick
Maybe
Mullins
CJ.
is definitely gone.
Okay.
Right? He's fine. He's okay. CJ, he's a serviceable backup. Right? I think CJ's great, but I mean, he's not.
He's good when he needs to be.
I mean, to say maybe I don't know.
What's the worth of Matt Ryan, Matt Stafford, if you're trying to trade for them? What's the worth?
Just think about the last time that Matt Ryan played with Shanahan.
Yeah,
he was MVP.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's a good idea to do that. I'm just trying to figure out his worth. I mean, he's not a first rounder.
No. Say he's maybe a third at this point, especially if you're taking on that contract.
Just and then throw in Nick Mullins too. So you got to take him. That's I don't know. I mean,
well, Brad Hines says the Patriots will take Jimmy G.
That's what I think too. I think that would be a thing.
She might see some trading. Yeah,
I'll be sad.
I think it's sending him back is probably the best thing for him. CBS.com is speculating all over about who the people might be looking at. They have Pat Fitzgerald linked to the Lions. And
from
Northwestern.
From Northwestern?
Well, the thought is this:
are the Bears firing anybody?
That would be the one that I think it would. But
I mean, they haven't announced it because they made the playoffs. But are the Bears going to fire anybody?
No.
Do you think he's safe?
She told you that. Remember? Now, Brad said something else. Matt Ryan or Matt Stafford to Denver is not bad. We saw yesterday John Elway step down as GM. He'll remain president of operations, but he's no longer going to be making the decisions.
Fired himself?
Yeah. He did.
He did?
Yeah. And then the speculation is that the athletic director from Northwestern is leaving. Well, he is leaving, and that now for like first time, Pat Fitzgerald will entertain ideas. And the other one is the Urban Meyer, but obviously the hot name that we want to see get hired is Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator of the Chiefs.
It's overdue.
It's way overdue.
I mean, obviously he's a genius. He was a great player.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great story. When you have talented former players that are good coaches, I think he needs a chance. Prove what he can do.
Yeah, I do too. So we'll see. I don't know. If the Bears get just completely worked by the Saints, and you backed into the playoffs, I don't think Bears are going to make a change, and I don't think they would have if they wouldn't have made the change. Because when we talked to Peggy, she was like, "Nothing's going to change here, guys."
Well, she said Ryan Pace wasn't going to change.
Yeah, well, that's true, and Pace likes
Nagy.
Yeah, so
we'll see. That being said, what are the Bears going to do at quarterback? Is it Biscuit? I think they found their running back. Montgomery seems to be doing well.
Yeah, no,
their O-line seems to be able to. I mean, the Bears are close. Now, Allen Robinson is a free agent this year, I believe. I mean, the Bears are close. You add somebody that, I don't know, is it Carson Wentz? Seriously? Wentz would thrive in that offense under Nagy.
You got to be a little bit more mobile. He's always hurt.
He gets hurt, but he's not He's not immobile.
Yeah, you look at Montgomery. He was 5th in the NFL in rushing this year.
Right.
I mean, almost 1,000 yards behind Derrick Henry, but
well, a lot of people are not Derrick Henry. That's fine. But what I'm saying is if you look at David Montgomery's last 5 games, very good.
He was number 4 in the league in rushing attempts. Yeah, the rushing leaders are just not where you thought they would be. Lamar Jackson was in the top 10 for rushing leaders.
I don't know. I think the Bears need to look hard at a trade.
Well,
it's not Biscuit. Come on, man.
I don't think so, but
I mean, Bear fans will tell you it's not Biscuit.
Well, Bear fans will tell you a lot of things, and that's why I'm not really looking forward to Sunday's game against the Saints.
It's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, the Saints' defense is really, really good. They're going to throw it. I mean, the thing is now they're going to be throwing wrinkles in there with Taysom Hill even more than they have before. It's going to be interesting. Either way, I mean, the Bears have the defense to get into Drew Brees' face. That's true. That.
Yeah.
So, especially if Hicks is playing, which I'm pretty sure he is. I don't know. I think the Bears need to look in the offseason, need to take a hard look. If they're not going to get rid of Nagy, if they're going to continue with the Nagy, they need to find another quarterback. And if they're looking for quarterbacks, the guy's out there, the best one I believe is available, and I know he had a crappy year, I still think it's Carson Wentz. I don't think this guy's on the junk pile just yet.
The Bears have the cap space for that, though,
but at the same time, when I look at Carson Wentz right now, do you know who he reminds me of? In a way? Just throwing it out at you. Really good early in his career, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, his second season, he was very, very good.
Jay Cutler.
No.
Oh. Who?
Kaepernick.
Okay.
All of a sudden, just wasn't the same guy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is this a situation where people are saying this guy's done and he's toast?
Ooh, I like the speculation here. Wentz to Indianapolis, the reckless speculation, because of Frank Wright, and saying that they're done with Phillip Rivers.
And that is another great one.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too.
I mean that's where he thrived, was with Reich, and at the same time, by the way, what happens with Fitzmagic?
Yeah, they've got to make some decisions there too.
I mean, I think Tua takes the helm. You have an entire offseason to work with him and get him up to par. I think Tua takes the helm.
And then remember yesterday I was telling you about Chan Gailey. ESPN reported and retracted it. So as of right now, he's still the offensive coordinator for the Dolphins. I still think he's going to take the sword for not getting beat like that by the Bills. Someone's got to, whatever else. All right.
We can do our rankings?
Yeah.
You already got them pulled up?
Oh, they didn't do them. They're not as good as you.
What?
They didn't do a final season one.
They didn't do anything?
No. No.
Wow, I'm gonna tweet at this guy from ESPN senior guy.
They didn't do it.
All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Matt Erickson, this is the day you've been waiting for. The final power rankings of the NFL. As I see fit. They might not match my predictions for the playoffs, but that doesn't matter. Things happen all the time, Erickson. At number 1, Jay.
Yes, they are.
And they have this year's MVP in an impressive victory on Sunday where they beat their longtime rival.
But not the Offensive Player of the Year. The MVP.
MVP.
Yeah.
And at number 1 in my power rankings, the Green Bay Packers.
That's right.
There you go, Matt. Are you happy now?
I think he
Quit
is.
yelling at me.
I don't think he's on right now.
It's all right.
He would be
He'll
off
watch
when
later.
I announce it.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel safe. I feel safe being able to announce this now because she's not here today. She's probably flying to Washington, D.C. and eating potato chips because she can't find a restaurant that's open.
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs are at number 2, Leah Bomber. Take that. Get your hair dyed.
That makes sense. They're both number 1 seeds.
Both number 1 seeds. 1's 2. I just think right now Green Bay looks better.
Yeah.
At 3, Jay. Another really good team. They looked really good on Sunday. The Buffalo Bills.
Yep. My pick to go to the Super Bowl to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl.
All right. At number 4. Had an equally impressive day. The New Orleans Saints.
New Orleans.
That's all right. It's pretty high.
It is pretty high. At 5, the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
All right.
They deserve it. But
at 6, I switched this. I wrote it down and then I had to put 2 arrows on it. At 6, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay.
They looked really good on Sunday.
They're
starting
played
to gel.
Nobodies.
I don't care.
Teams that didn't even have coaches.
It's fine.
In the last 2 weeks.
I'm saying. At 7, I have the Steelers.
He was throwing the ball to Antonio Brown, and he's doing shuffle passes to get them their bonuses.
Worked out perfect.
They might have got Mike Evans hurt. They don't know yet.
He's fine.
He's playing in the fourth quarter game that didn't matter.
No, it wasn't. It was the first quarter.
Was it?
Yes.
All right. I think it was later than that. All right.
Anyway, at 8, the Tennessee Titans.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be a tough out in the playoffs, Jay. And so is the team they match up with here at 9, Baltimore. It's going to be a battle.
When we tier these games, what's most important? I feel like you and I are both going to have this game at number 1.
I feel you're right, too.
Yeah.
At number 10, the Indianapolis Colts. At 11, the Cleveland Browns.
That's fair.
At 12, the Los Angeles Rams.
Sleeping on those Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Sleeping on them.
There's
your 12-5 upset.
Is it?
You
Okay.
know, and then
Yeah.
March Madness. Speaking of, we got to talk about March Madness later. But yeah, you know how
geez.
there's a 12-5 upset. There's your 12-5 upset.
Yeah, they're playing Seattle. We'll see. And then Seattle's by 5. You're right.
Yep.
12-5. At 13, the Chicago Bears.
Uh-huh.
At 14, the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
At 15, the Vegas Raiders.
I love how you kept the team that's in the playoffs out of the top 15. I love it.
At 16, the Arizona Cardinals.
Their team, like Doug Peterson and Kingsbury, are like 1A and 1B of how not to coach an NFL team. Those guys are going to start the season on the hot seat next year.
Yep. And at 17, Chico.
Yeah, he can.
Riverboat Ron.
Riverboat Ron can coach.
Washington.
Yep. Riverboat Ron can coach. There's no doubt about that. All right, I like Washington there. I don't know.
And at 32, Jay.
Yeah, 32.
The Dallas Cowboys.
and they're going to stay there until
they
they
were
get rid of
15
McCarthy.
last week. They dropped 17 spots.
Yeah.
Is that right, Matt? I don't know.
I don't know. Don't ask me about math.
All right, we have to take our break because I want to get it in before we talk to Cody and we give him a call. We're going to talk to Cody about the Heisman vote, and then what he put into, just his decision, if he even tells us what his decision is, and then we'll talk a little bit about sports down there in Houston because that town turned into what at one point was like on the verge of championships into a dumpster fire. So,
yeah.
Now I'm not going to tell him that, but maybe he'll say
He probably knows.
Yeah, he should.
All right, Quad Cities and Cora.
Yeah.
Need to quit going on those social media sites. Period.
That's true.
But when you're doing it, don't be asking people where you need to go to get anything. If it's around here in the Quad Cities, you need to go to Locust Levis.
Okay.
Yeah. They have guides, like little books, everywhere, like around, like laying at places. You can pick them up, check
like
it out.
in the Quad City
Take
area?
it with you. Yeah, take it with you. And then keep it in your car. So when you're driving around, go, where should we go? Well, look it up because you can't be looking on your phone when you're driving, but you're passenger.
True.
All right. Or you have a smartphone, go to locustlevis.com. You click on Quad Cities and browse your favorites. It's easy to use, and they're even ranking the most popular places for you. So check it out today, Coral. Where is that?
Locals love us. Your guide to the best.
Yay.
Rock says he's gonna make your Rudy Poo candy ass famous. You like that? You like that?
This is UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local.
I can't tell you how many times I've been watching football and wanted to bet the game on my phone. Well, guess what? Now I can! Because FanDuel Sportsbook is officially live in Iowa, and now you can register straight from your phone. To celebrate, they're kicking things off in a big way. FanDuel is giving new users their first bet risk-free. That's right, you'll get up to $1,000 back in-site credit if you don't win. Seriously. So not only can you bet on all your favorite teams, but you'll get up to $1,000 back if you don't win your first bet. And that's just one of the reasons why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook app. Ease of use, easy to register, easy to deposit, easy to find your bet. Live betting. Easy to place your bet fast during a game if you see a trend you like. So download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and be sure to sign up with promo code GOODALL so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code GOODALL. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Today, and Golick Jr.
We're going to get probably IU and Northwestern in the Big Ten title game and then have people staring up and wondering here, is Ohio State going to make it? I could see a very real world where they're missing the playoff all of a sudden. It's less to me about the sanctity of a conference championship, which has never quite frankly meant all that much to me. It's about another data point. And the Big Ten creating an opportunity for Ohio State to have that chance to show the committee yet again, because that's what conference championships really are. Not something you can hold over Notre Dame's head as an independent for all these years, but an opportunity when all the committee is watching to go out there and show we deserve to be a part of this, because with the schedule they've played so far, with the performances Ohio State's put out there, I think you would have a hard time saying that resumes mean anything and allowing that Ohio State team in the playoff as it currently sits.
Shanae and Golick Jr. 306 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
When you order for Casey's curbside pickup this winter, we bring your order outside.
Today's forecast, colder than the shady side of an iceberg.
So you can stay inside your warm car.
I love my heated seats.
We go outside.
Raw punishing winds.
You stay inside.
They're almost too warm.
Outside.
Tomorrow's high, -3.
Inside.
So toasty.
Order for Casey's new curbside pickup and save with new deals like buy any large pizza, get one half off with promo code BOGO. Casey's, here for staying inside.
Bundle up, folks.
Here for good.
Unfiltered. Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mahente.
Two things. Number one, it feels like Adam Gase. It feels like this is a last-ditch effort. Not to save his job, but I think to save his respectability, right? To try to say maybe a future job. Like, I'm trying to do things right. While I'm on my way out the door here, I'm going to try to sit here and say, it's like a confession, essentially, saying like, hey, look, I messed up. I haven't handled my responsibility. That's number one. Number two, I think it's going to be harder and harder to go away from the hype that's going to come with Trevor Lawrence. If you're a New York fan, if you're a Jet fan, you're also worried about maybe even if we do surround Sam Darnold with the right skill sets or the right players, maybe this is who Sam Darnold is. Maybe he never blossoms out of this. It takes a really strong personality to bear out of that and say, that's not who I am. Maybe this is who Sam Darnold is.
Keyshawn, Jay Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Hey Quad Cities, it's Jaybird with Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Get your local sports talk 12 to 2 with me, T-Roy, Bomber, and Surge. Download the station app to listen to us anywhere. And like us on social media to join in the conversation. Plus, when you sign up to be an ESPN Insider, you'll get access to all of our great contests and everything that's going on at ESPN1170am.com. Brought to you by Necker's Jewelers, where the Quad Cities gets engaged. We are the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
All right, all you trivia fans, get ready to play the Big Brothers Big Sisters virtual Trivia Putt Putt. Question 1. When can you play Trivia Putt-Putt?
January 27th through the 30th, and 5 different sessions are open for play.
That's right. And where will Trivia Putt-Putt be held?
It's virtual, and you can play from anywhere.
Right again. Plus, it only costs $30 to play. Be the smarty pants of your group. Go to triviaputtputt.org and sign up today.
Listen to every game on your sports leader. Download our app for our play-by-play schedule and never miss a thing from the Quad Cities Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Welcome back. This is Don't Hassle Us Local, AM 1170. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
Tell people that
yeah, if
call
you were
back
just
in
trying
a
to
minute,
call in, wait a minute. We got to make a phone call to somebody else and then call back after that.
Yeah, I had this.
It
We
was
would
probably
love to
Erickson.
hear from you.
He was probably all excited. He's probably got his little Packers PJs on. I picture Erickson sleeping at night in a Packer onesie.
All right, we're calling Cody Stutes out of Houston.
You know what I mean?
Houston?
Yeah.
Amarillo by morning.
Hi, you reached the voicemail box of Cody Stutes. I'm sorry I missed your call. Please leave a message. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks.
Jay's nonverbal was great.
If you're watching the Harrington's Pub Facebook Live, that was priceless.
Back to, what do you think? Do you think Erickson has a onesie? I bet it's a
I think
onesie
so,
with a little hood
but
on it, too.
Footies or no footies?
Footies, and then when he pulls the hood up, it looks like the helmet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hi, it's the voicemail box of Cody Stutes. I'm sorry I missed your call. Please leave a message. I'll get back.
I think he's trying to call back now. I can't tell.
Okay. Well, let's just wait a
This
second.
is, well, I mean, yeah.
Someone's calling.
All right.
All right.
I'll take it. All right.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah. Hey, this is ESPN 1170 AM. Don't hassle us. We're local. Is this Cody?
It's Cody.
Hey, man.
Cody, thanks. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm in.
Hey, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're in the studio right now. This is Jay. I'm the one that reached out to you. Troy's here with me, co-host Troy, and Coral's here as well. So those are the voices you're going to be hearing. But real quick, I want to just kind of get everyone up to speed. Cody, I was on the Locker Room social sports audio app and saw that you have a show coming up for the Heisman. So those of you people that listen, that I've told you guys, asked you guys to subscribe to Locker Room. Make sure to check out Cody and follow him there. And then I saw in your bio that you're a Heisman voter.
I am indeed, yes. I've been voting since the year Jameis Winston won the award.
Okay. Yeah, see, yeah. And then I went to Twitter and followed you there, and then I reached out to you. So I want to, first off, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us about the Heisman and a little bit about what's going on down in Houston as far as sports go. So, Cody, you have a podcast. You want to tell everyone about that?
Yes, you can check me out on the Stootscast as well as in the group chat. If you find the Stootscast, you can find me in the group chat, and you can check the podcast out there. And, of course, all my work on Texans Daily on Sports Illustrated as well, covering the Houston Texans. So I appreciate you letting me get the plug out of the way, and now we can talk some football.
Love it. Okay, tonight's the Heisman Trophy presentation. And I guess I'll get the one thing out of the way that we talk about most lately in the past few years about the Heisman is, why is it kind of lost its lackluster, its blockbuster, its must-watch presentation?
To me, I feel like a lot of people were they were bummed that it was primarily a quarterback award for so many years. I mean, you've had, the past 12 years or so, you've had a random non-quarterback win, obviously with the Alabama running backs and Mark Ingram and Derrick Henry, but it has primarily become a quarterback award. As the quarterback has become more important in college football, that sort of makes sense to me. And the past couple of seasons, I do feel like there's been a little bit of a runaway element to the Heisman Trophy ceremony. I mean, Bill Burrow was a runaway Heisman Trophy candidate. Kyler Murray was a runaway Heisman Trophy candidate, even Baker Mayfield. So it's been a few years since you've had that hotly contested, hotly debated, who could win it, anybody could win it, Heisman Trophy ceremony. So I think that has hurt a little bit. To me, though, the award is still so fantastic. It's such an honor to be able to vote for it. It's an award that is really awarded and voted on unlike any of its peers in the award world. So I thoroughly enjoy it, but I think the lack of multi-position availability to the voters, as well as the prevalence of a runaway winner the past few years, that has sort of hurt the mystique and the buzz around the Heisman.
Now, this year, for example, I mean, 3 quarterbacks and a wide receiver up. Do you care to share who you voted for?
I would love to tell you. Unfortunately, the Heisman Trust binds me to, keeping my vote a secret until after the ceremony. But I will tell you this: I have primarily been a advocate of a multi-position award. This is an award that I think the best football player in college football should win, not the best quarterback. So, for example, last year, I know a lot of my peers had Kyler Murray at the top, Joe Burrow at the top, as they should. But I know quarterbacks filled out a lot of people's ballots. Last year, to me, the 3 best players in college football I watched were Joe Burrow, J.K. Dobbins, and Chase Young. Those are the 3 players that I watched, and those were the 3 guys that I voted for on my ballot. You vote for 3 candidates, and so mine was Joe Burrow, J.K. Dobbins, and Chase Young. That was my ballot last year. There have been years where I have prioritized a successful wide receiver season. I was very fond of Amari Cooper's season a couple of years ago, and it is a multi-position award to me. It's not a quarterback award, though quarterback success certainly matters, but it is weighed heavily against previous quarterback winners, which sometimes hurts quarterback candidates year to year.
Understood.
Yeah, I think it's a great way of looking at it. And you said, basically the best athlete out there right now. Devontae Smith is very heavily favored as far as Vegas goes.
Well, even going back like a few years ago, like if I can remember, in this is getting off the quarterback, like who was the most dominant player, but in this man's career turned out to be a little bit more of considered a dirty player when he got to the NFL. But in Dominic Sue, when he played at Nebraska, I mean, that guy to me would have been the first defensive player I think should ever have won the award, right? Unless there's one that I don't recall.
Sue's year was it was incredible. He was probably one of the best college football players I've ever watched. I wasn't voting at the time, and certainly was a little bit younger. But Ndamukong Sue's year was one of the most dominant years of college football I've ever seen. And frankly, if Nebraska wins that Big 12 championship, we might have seen Ndamukong Suh take home the award. Unfortunately, I think that was a Mark Ingram year. He was very good, certainly that year. Colt McCoy, Toby Gerhart. You couldn't tell me that any of those 3 guys had a better season start to finish, front to back, than Ndamukong Suh did from that interior defensive line of Nebraska.
Right.
So you started in 2013. That was your first time voting in the Heisman. How do you feel like your percentage of getting it correct is?
I always feel like shamelessly, I always feel like my vote is the correct vote.
There you go. Yeah. Just say 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 1,000% I got it right. They got it wrong.
Certainly, but a lot of the times I have had the winner as the guy. I think in 2013 I definitely had Jameis Winston. The rest of my ballot looks a little bit different. Marcus Mariota, Johnny Manziel were a little bit higher than some of the other voters had them. Like I said, I prioritized Amari Cooper's season in 2014. Definitely thought he had a fantastic season. The one year that I think probably would stick out to most people is 2016. Lamar Jackson won. I voted for Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was my first place vote that year over Lamar Jackson. I thought that Lamar's game against Houston in prime time on a Thursday night really hurt him in his Heisman candidacy. He was fantastic. He was dynamic. A lot of fun to watch. Deshaun Watson had better numbers versus everybody. I know he threw more interceptions, but he threw a lot more touchdowns. He ran for some touchdowns as well, threw for a lot more yards. So Deshaun Watson, probably the most notable one where I voted him instead of the winner. And in 2017, I was a Baker Mayfield guy. And then these past few years, I have been more chalky, with the number one with the number one vote than I previously have. But again, like I said last year, J.K. Dobbins was the second best college football player I watched in college football. He finished 6th in the voting. I had him number 2. Chase Young, he finished 4th. I had him number 3. And really, honestly, to me, guys, if Chase Young had played every game his last year in college, there's a chance, in my eyes, that people would have put him certainly a little bit higher, and he would have gotten more than I think he ended up with 20 first-place votes. I think he probably would have ended up with the second most first-place votes, and a lot more second-place votes than he did.
And he's probably going to end up being rookie defensive player of the year, right?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, it was a fantastic performance by him, and slow start, but he got things going there at the end. And I'd be careful though if I was him saying that he wants Tom Brady.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Tommy pays attention to that stuff.
Yeah, no, I want to ask you a few more things about college and maybe flip over to the NFL if you can give us a few more minutes of your time. So when you're down there in Houston, do you follow the University of Houston or do you also do Texas?
So I cover the Texans for Sports Illustrated, and then by virtue of having the Heisman Trophy vote for doing the college football show for Locker Room App, I follow all the Texas football schools. Certainly, I went to Texas Tech University, so I follow them. It hasn't been as fun to follow them the past couple of years, but the University of Texas, Texas A&M, huge talking points amongst my friend base and certainly some of the people that I work with as well. So I cover a little bit of everything down here in Houston.
Cool. So then I want to ask you a few questions. And how do you like the hire of that Texas did?
Moving on from Tom Herman felt like the right move. I don't know that there was a for sure no-doubter outside of Urban Meyer that you would make the hire to move on from Tom Herman. But Tom Herman's the guy that went 4-0 in bowl games that the University of Texas shouldn't be playing in. UT should be playing in college football playoff games. They shouldn't be playing in the Texas Bowl and the Alamo Bowl. And I understand that those are sort of the upper tier of the lesser bowls, but that's not where Texas needs to be. Texas needs to be competing for a Big 12 championship, and Texas needs to be in the college football playoff. And Tom Herman did not have the ability to get Texas there. Does Steve Sarkisian have the ability? I don't know, but I do like a guy like Sarkisian who's been a couple of different places, who's had to rebuild his image. And I do like that guy taking over a program like Texas, where hopefully he can keep some of those big money and loudmouth boosters away from the program. He can start selecting and picking the right 5 stars and the right 4 stars, because Texas can get yeses from just about any 4-star, 5-star player they want. But a lot of times they've picked the guys and they've gotten the yes from the guy that is done developing. Texas needs that guy that comes in as a 5-star and leaves as a first-round draft pick. Too many times Texas has that guy that comes in as a 5-star and never gets any better. I do trust Sarkisian probably more than I trust Tom Herman when he was getting there. You got to remember, Tom Herman was the no-doubt, no-brainer hire when they made it. It just didn't work out. Now I think he's going to go coordinate someone's offense here in college football, try to rebuild his image. And but I like Sarkisian. I like the move. It's aggressive. I like to be aggressive when you're not getting what you want at the college football level. And so I like what Texas did.
How do you feel Cliff Kingsbury's, because you've watched him at Texas Tech, has transferred into the NFL game?
Same guy, really. I don't think he's grown much. I don't think he's a better coach. Irregular aggressiveness, which is really annoying to watch. Sometimes he trusts analytics, sometimes he trusts old school coaching. He's the son of a coach, so I got to imagine that a lot of that old school thought process is banged into his head. And even though he's been a progressive coach at different times, he still kind of leans back on that old school way of coaching. It can't be anything but a disappointment for the Arizona Cardinals and what Cliff Kingsbury's been able to do, because I think you can point to a couple of games where coaching has held them back. And I would say, not this offseason, but the same aggressive nature that led to Cliff Kingsbury getting that opportunity is the same aggressive nature that could lead to Cliff Kingsbury looking for a new opportunity and the Cardinals hiring a new coach. He enters make or break territory next season.
I agree that reckless aggressiveness, that it comes in spurts. It reminds me a lot of like how I used to play Madden, not how I actually think a real NFL coach should handle an NFL team. And one more thing about schools down there in Texas, Jimbo Fisher. Do you think he's got a legitimate 40 speed the way he ran away from that Gatorade bottle after their bowl victory?
I didn't know Jimbo had that in him. I was really impressed by that. I'll be really impressed if Jimbo Fisher rattles off multiple years like that. Let's remember Texas A&M had that fantastic year under Kevin Sumlin with Johnny Manziel. They played really well, and then had been disappointment in the SEC after that. If you're a legitimate big-time program in the SEC year to year, you are someone that is scary to show up on the schedule. That's what Jimbo Fisher has to prove, and that's what he's paid to prove as well. Winning, what they won in 1 year in the SEC, that's not the standard. Being that good every year and maybe beating Alabama eventually, that's the standard they want to get to.
Okay, and then staying down in Houston, but we're jumping up the NFL. Obviously, the big talk has been about the 6 open jobs, and Houston being one of them, along with the GM. I'm going to tell you now, at the very beginning of the year, I was never a big fan of Bill O'Brien. I didn't like the moves he made, but what do you see the future for Houston, the Texans?
The future is Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was fantastic this year in his best season in the worst situation, and that tells you a lot. That tells you almost everything you need to know about what kind of guy this is. He hasn't been getting great coaching the past couple of years, so you would think that even an average coach, but hopefully an elite coach can come in here and maybe even take Deshaun Watson to a higher level. The way I always talk about quarterbacks is Patrick Mahomes lives on a street all by himself. What you want as a quarterback is to be Patrick Mahomes' neighbor. When you're talking about the pecking order of quarterbacks, you want to be Mahomes' neighbor. Deshaun Watson has the ability to be Mahomes' neighbor, to be the 1B to Patrick Mahomes' 1A. Now, there's a lot of things that need to go into it. You need to get a good coach. You need to get a coach that's not going to restrict him, that's not going to impede his progress. He made a huge jump this year in a bad situation, so you got to feel great about that. No, they don't have a first-round pick. No, they don't have a second-round pick. No, they don't have a lot of money to spend in free agency. Well, you take a one-year hit, you swallow the hard pill, and then you hit the ground running in 2022. 2021 is going to be kind of a bonus year. Whatever you get, it's going to be nice. In 2022, that's when this team should be ready to hit the ground running, and that's when Deshaun Watson should be at the peak of his powers. And hopefully, for Texans fans and hopefully for fans of the National Football League, Deshaun Watson is the second-best quarterback in football. And maybe, just maybe, he's challenging Patrick Mahomes for that title of the best quarterback in football. But I'm not going to get greedy. I'll settle for second best watching Deshaun Watson and covering Deshaun Watson.
Well, to your point about living on the street, just wanting to be neighbors, wouldn't the name of that street then have to be Bieniemy Street?
Well, Eric Bieniemy is certainly an interesting candidate. The Texans haven't, as we talk right now, requested to interview Eric Bieniemy, so it is fascinating that they haven't, set up a date with the most attractive candidate to most people. I'm not a big fan of Eric Bieniemy, one, because I don't know that he calls all the plays. I think that's maybe an Andy Reid thing. He doesn't get to bring Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill and Clyde Edwards-Helaire and that really good offensive line with him. And then the big thing for me with Eric Bieniemy was he was the offensive coordinator at Colorado for 2 seasons, and those 2 seasons were horrible seasons for Colorado offensively. They were better before he got there, and they were better after he left, and that's the only true resume of him calling every single play, building out the offense that we have. I don't like that. That scares me off. If you're going offensive mind, I'm far more in the Joe Brady camp. What Joe Brady did with LSU, coordinating what is probably the best college football offense we've ever seen and turning Joe Burrow in from an undrafted free agent into a number 1 overall pick. I'm a Joe Brady guy if you're going to go offense. I do ultimately think the Texans are probably going to lean defensive head coach, someone like Matt Eberflus from Indianapolis, or maybe Robert Saleh from the San Francisco 49ers.
Perfect. Now, you got anything else for Cody?
Oh, you covered everything I was going to ask.
Cody, I want to thank you so much for your time. I want to remind everybody, what time are you on the Locker Room app tonight?
So Locker Room app tonight, right after the Heisman Trophy ceremony, I will be on there. My old broadcast partner, John Lopez, who's been a Heisman Trophy voter for close to 30 years. We're going to be on there. We're going to be chopping it up about the award, a little bit about college football, what we saw from this weekend in college football action, and certainly what we're going to expect from the national championship. So it'll be a fun one. Be really good. So tonight, right after the Heisman Trophy ceremony, you'll see it pop up on the Locker Room app, and just dive in, come in there, and have some fun with us.
All right, I forgot to ask you, though. Who you got? What? Go on.
Oh, I did think of one question for you that I have. All right.
Go for it.
This season in college football, give me your top 3 running backs.
Oh, this is not fair, and it's not easy to do.
That's why I'm asking it.
Well, Najee Harris, obviously. I mean,
okay.
What he's done to Alabama now, is he going to be able to do that to everybody? If he doesn't have that certainly that advantage that Alabama puts together for him, I don't know. Breece Hall is incredible. I mean, I don't know. Breece Hall, if I had to think about someone who's a future NFL star, Breece Hall is I would trust Breece Hall at the NFL level more than I would trust Najee Harris. Let me put it that way. So maybe I like Britt Hall a little bit more than Najee Harris as far as, a pro prospect. At college, Najee with the advantages of Alabama, certainly. And then number 3, I mean, can you go wrong with either of the North Carolina guys, Carter or Williams? Khalil Herbert at Virginia Tech's really good, too. There's a kid down here in Texas who plays at UTSA named Sincere McCormick, who's really, really good. But, again, I don't know how much of that's going against, the talent that he goes against. But, yeah, Breece Hall, Najee Harris, sort of 1A, 1B for me in running backs in college football.
All right, brother. Appreciate the insight.
Wait, who's going to win the Natty, the national championship?
Alabama. I trust their overall put-togetherness more than I trust Ohio State. That Ohio State defense has been leaky a couple of different times. If you're leaky against Alabama, you got to play a shootout game against them. I think Alabama wins all shootouts right now the way they're constructed.
All right, Cody, thank you for your time. Folks, go follow Cody on Twitter. That's at COD_STOOTS, Cody Stutes. And listen to the Locker Room app. Download the app if you haven't already. Cody, again, thank you so much for your time. We took up 20 minutes of it, and we really appreciate you responding back to us.
Anytime, fellas. Keep the number. Hit me anytime you want.
Awesome. Thanks, Cody. Appreciate it. Take care, man.
Great stuff. Thank you.
Yep. All right, that's Cody down in Houston. He writes for SINow.com for Houston Texans, but Heisman Trophy voter, and it's the first Heisman Trophy voter I've ever talked to in my life.
Wow.
Cool. All right, we're going to take a quick break.
How you get that?
And then actually we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit, and then we'll call Emily Van Buskirk and talk a little bit more college football. And then we'll, at the end,
We're going to rank the games before Emily or after Emily?
No, we got a break that we have to do, and we're talking to Emily at 1:15. So,
all right.
And we'll rank the games afterwards, the NFL or whatever else. So,
You want me to read an ad?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, Jay, just for you, buddy. Front Street Brewery is the oldest brew pub in Iowa. They're Corawa cheese.
Yummy.
Serving Davenport since 1992 with great beer like Davenport Gold, the Wise Guy, the Raging River, and everyone's favorite, the Cherry Bomb Blonde. Check out the Facebook page for any specials they have, or visit the webpage at www.frontstreetbrew.com. Those are our friends at Front Street Brewery, the restaurant, 208 East River Drive, and the tap room in the Freight House Complex.
You like that? You like that? Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
This is WQAD's Matt Randazzo, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Last year was quite the doozy. Make life fun again with Boozy's Bar and Grill. Boozy's is known for their delicious food, drinks, and friendly atmosphere. And if your mom told you you've got talent, come prove it every Saturday at 9:30 at Boozy's Karaoke. Check out the Quad City's newest hotspot, The Loft above Boozy's, every Saturday night with DJ Barry, a dance floor, and cocktail lounge. Make plans to meet your friends at the 580 Loft with DJ Barry this Saturday night. Online at boozies.com or find him on Facebook.
This is Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
If you don't think analytics are a useful tool in winning games in sports, then what you should do is when you go to the racetrack, you should just pick horses based upon which one you think is the prettiest. You should disregard everything else you might find in a racing form. You should pick stocks based upon how much you like the names of the companies. Disregard information that might help you make an informed decision. You wouldn't do that because you're not an idiot, and neither are the people running sports teams and making decisions. Analytics are a great example of something that has turned into a hot button topic as we've attached a fancy or frightening word to a very simple concept. Analytics are just the things that have happened. That's all they are. They're just telling you what's happened. In the past, this has happened.
Greeny, weekdays at 11. A Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170.
If you own a small business, you know how hard it can be to find new customers. But maybe you're unaware of new tools that can help your business stand out. Go to GetLocalCustomersNow.com for a free market competitive analysis that will show you what other businesses are doing to find new customers and how you can do it too. There's no cost and no obligation. Be one of the first business owners to sign up and receive $500 in free advertising on this station. Get started today. Visit GetLocalCustomersNow.com. That's GetLocalCustomersNow.com.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
Is this a championship or bust year for the Brooklyn Nets? It should not be a championship or bust year, considering Kevin Durant is coming off an Achilles injury. Expectations for me, and I'm a Nets fan, will tell you, if we got to the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm okay with that. If they lose, I'll be disappointed, but okay, that's trending in the right direction.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170.
2020 was challenging, but Winger Truck Line is still running strong. Hey, it's Eric, and our Class A CDL drivers get home more often now than ever before with regional and regional home daily runs. Come join us for a successful 2021. Full-time, part-time, and the best lease purchase plan available anywhere. Call me today, 800-593-6433, or see us online at drivewtl.com.
Today, Angola Jr.
We're going to get probably IU and Northwestern in the Big Ten title game, and then have people staring up and wondering here, is Ohio State going to make it? I could see a very real world where they're missing the playoff all of a sudden. It's less to me about the sanctity of a conference championship, which has never, quite frankly, meant all that much to me. It's about another data point. And the Big Ten creating an opportunity for Ohio State to have that chance to show the committee yet again, because that's what conference championships really are. Not something you can hold over Notre Dame's head as an independent for all these years, but an opportunity when all the committee is watching to go out there and show we deserve to be a part of this, because with the schedule they've played so far, with the performances Ohio State's put out there, I think you would have a hard time saying that resumes mean anything and allowing that Ohio State team in the playoff as it currently sits.
Shanae and Gola Jr. 306 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Play your game with the first bet risk-free, up to $500, only at Elite Sportsbook. Just sign up for a new Elite Sportsbook account and make your first bet online. If it is graded as a loss, we will match it with a free bet up to $500. Visit EliteSportsbook.com for a list of casino locations and sign up today. You will always be in the game with Elite Sportsbook. For a limited time only. Must be 21. Visit EliteSportsbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling a problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Can't leave the office during lunch? Well, you can still listen to Don't Hassle Us. We're local from noon to 2 on Alexa. Download the skill and just tell Alexa to play ESPN 1170 AM to never miss a thing from the Quad Cities Sports Leader. Download the ESPN 1170 app today and never miss a thing from the Quad Cities Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 KBOB Davenport.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Don't Hassle Us Local on AM 1170. Thanks for tuning in today.
Yeah, I want to remind everyone you can download the app ESPN 1170 AM wherever you download apps from your app store. You can listen to us on ESPN1170am.com, where you can also apps, and on that website you can read the fabulous things that I put on there, right on there. And then you can listen to us, watch us live, leave comments on the Harrington's Pub Facebook Live. Go to Don't Hassle Us for Local on Facebook or on YouTube, and you can watch us there. And I want to thank Cody Stutes from Houston. He covers sports down there for SINow.com, and he covers for the Houston Texans. But he also, he's a Heisman Trophy voter, and he, like he said, he has to follow all the college sports. So he had a good grasp on everything that was going on down there. But in just a few minutes, we're going to call Emily Van Buskirk. She was covering the Bulls. If you listened to us before, she's our college football analyst, if you will. And,
she's very knowledgeable.
She's been a friend of ours now for over a year. And another person that we met...
Almost 2 years, Jay.
No.
Yeah, she came in the middle of the summer.
July 2019.
Yeah.
Just over a year. I guess it's a year and a half now. I keep feeling like we're in November.
All right, which is 2021.
Yeah.
It's our birthday month.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It has been almost 2 years.
It's our birthday month.
We'll take it more towards that. Yeah, we'll round up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
I'm gonna
always a good time with Emily. She's got good stories, and we'll get to hear what she did for the bowl games and what she's going to do for the national championship.
Have you seen some of her hiking videos?
Yeah.
Amazing. She lives in a very beautiful part of the world.
Well, California isn't bad, right?
Well, that part where she's at is the best part. NoCal with the wine vineyards.
The redwoods.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
But stick around and listen for the interview that we're going to have with Emily here in just a little bit. And then after that, we're going to look at the games this weekend, tier them, try to give you what the best ones are to be looking for. In case you have to make plans for the weekend, what am I going to prioritize? If I have to talk to my lady friend and say, this is the game I will basically in your head, you're like, I'm skipping.
Or your male friend.
Or your male friend. You're saying, I'm skipping. I know you have to plan ahead. I'm skipping this game, so you kind of make time for the date. You're like, oh, we can hang out here, and we'll let you know if it's lunchtime, afternoon, delight time, or nighttime. Because what the lowest one on the tier is the one that you can skip.
Yeah.
Now the highest one is the one you got to watch.
Yeah.
But we have not looked at each
We're here
other's
to
list.
help,
But
man. Not to hurt.
All right, let's give her a call.
Makes everybody's life easier.
That's right.
When you take time and make time for your significant other, Corral.
That's right. You got
I
it.
don't have one. I just have a cat.
Well, you got to keep time with that cat, too.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll scratch you and pee on your pillow.
I know.
All right.
Cats do that.
He doesn't. He loves me.
I want to say hi first.
Hello.
MLM!
Hi.
It's D-Roy. What's going on?
I recognized you from your frantic voice.
I know. I was just talking about.
You sound like you were outside playing. You had something frantic that you needed to say to her when you got into the door.
Yeah.
That's what you sound like.
Well, her tweets are the best tweets on the planet. So
Okay.
I listen between you
That
watching your
means a
mom
lot.
and sister race. That was great. Watching you drive around vintage hot rods with your dad, and then all the cool places you hike, and then you send me pictures of beautiful places, and then. I got to look out at frozen cornfields. That's fine. Yeah, I'm not
Whoa,
jealous.
cornfields are cool too.
You should see them today. Everything was covered in a nice layer. Even the trees had a nice layer of snow on them, and it was all frozen. It was very
That's
beautiful,
pretty.
majestic. It was.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I just went for a run on the beach, so.
Yeah, don't rub it in. That's fine.
Wow.
Not humble brag, but how are you guys?
We're great. You have been busy traveling the United States, going to bowl games, and just having a blast. Everything I see, at least, it looks like you're having fun. So hopefully it's...
It's been good, but it's a weirder bowl season. Normally
obviously.
I'd be exactly, but I'd be pushing my limit. I try and cover as many as I can. It's like a personal competition between myself to see how many bowl games. So normally I'd be doing like 9, 10, 11 games, and I feel like I've been home for 2 weeks straight, and this is the longest I've been in one place. I'm going crazy. So
Are you
I'm ready for
planning on
something
going to the national title game, or no?
I thought about it, and I really did think about it, but I have some big events coming up this month. I'm broadcasting the College Football Gridiron Showcase, which is in Fort Worth in 2 weeks, where a lot of seniors will be trying to up their draft stock. And my Brawl network actually got asked to be the media broadcast team. So I'll be on the main stage, breaking down each day, all the players and, who looks good, who looks draftable. And then I have the Senior Bowl at the end of the month in Mobile. So I thought about going out to Miami, but I just think I want to focus on those events and not, just be careful and limit my exposure and traveling. So I'm going to watch from home.
Well, good call. Mobile's a lot of fun, too. Been there.
Oh, I can't wait. The Senior Bowl is probably, I cover a lot of events from like the Heisman to the last two Natties to so many different things, but the Senior Bowl, Jim Nagy does an incredible job, finding guys to come out and showcase their talent, putting on a week-long access to the players, access to NFL coaches and scouts. And then of course, the networking and the scene. Like last year I drank beers next to Matt Rule and I met the whole new Panther staff. And it was incredible. So the Senior Bowl is by far my favorite event. Absolutely.
Nice.
So did you said you've been home for a while. Did you get to go to any bowl games, to cover any?
So unfortunately, no. Okay. I did not cover one single bowl game in person. I did a lot of virtual coverage.
Well, you
where
tricked
they
me.
give you...
I thought you were really there.
No, I do. I know that my commentary feels like I'm there, but no, I didn't get to go out to any. My sister was coming home from New York. She's an ABA in Queens, and it was a big deal for her to be able to come home and take 2 weeks to see our family. So my parents asked me if I would quarantine and not go anywhere. So after I covered the Florida LSU game when LSU beat Florida in the Swamp, that was my last game that I've covered. So it's been quiet.
That was a fun game, too, by the way. Man.
Oh, my God. That was incredible. I'd never been to the Swamp, and that fog that rolled in, they told me that that's unusual. That never happened. So it was like one of these crazy games, of course, where I come to the stadium, it's chaos. Kicker misses the field goal. And I told everybody from the opening whistle, I said, LSU's going to win this game. I feel it in my bones. I know it's going to happen. They had nothing to lose, and they came in and played like it. And Kyle Trask, my God. I mean, I've never seen anyone lose a Heisman race in one swift spell, but that was it. So.
Because going into that game, we talked to you beforehand, and you said that you're on the Kyle Trask Heisman. You were leading the wagon. It wasn't like you were on it. You were leading it.
Yeah, like as much as you lead like the bring back the fullback thing, you were on the Kyle Trask thing.
I loved Kyle Trask. I thought the Trask train left the station early in the year, and he was setting records with touchdowns and limited interceptions and not making mistakes and doing what he needed to do. And he just completely fell apart in those last 2 games. And it's crazy because, you know, it's like a what have you done for me lately type sport. So that's how he's going to be remembered. And that's such a bummer because he is a good quarterback, but you cannot disintegrate in big games like that. You just can't.
Do you still think he's going to be a first-round draft pick?
I think it's tough because I think he has all those like buzzwords, you know, like he's got the body type, he's got the arm, he takes risks, which I like. Sometimes he'll just dial up bombs and out of nowhere, and you're like, you think it's stupid, but it works. He makes those big plays, but to see somebody mentally crash and burn like that, I'm sure there's going to be NFL teams that take pause from the mental capacity, and then, you know, I have to see how he does on those kinds of tests because as we saw kind of with Tua and everything, those mental, you know, Wonderlic tests, they do matter. You can't be, you know, you have to be smart enough to be able to run a playbook. So I think he's going to be okay just because of how he looks, the body type, his arm, but he definitely didn't do himself any favors, you know.
So it's the heavily favored Heisman Trophy winner is Devontae Smith. Are you with that?
Yes.
Yeah. It's
I like Devontae Smith. I was just talking about this with my friend that's down here visiting me, and we were talking about, you know, how great of a receiver he is, and I was telling him that I've covered like 7 Heismans now, and the thing that always bothers me about people that vote for the Heisman, especially when there's like West Coast players in it, which obviously not this year, but like Christian McCaffrey, for example, and the Derrick Henry year, nobody watches West Coast football, okay? We get it. Like, I understand no one cares about Pac-12, whatever. But Heisman voters need to do their due diligence because the tenet of the Heisman is the player that does the most for his team on and off the field and the most for the sport. So, like, that year that Christian lost, he was doing everything for Stanford. And I'm not just talking about running the ball. He was catching passes. He was special teams, kickoff, return. He was
he destroyed Iowa that year, we recall.
Yeah, we
exactly.
remember.
Yeah, I was there. That was that was incredible. Like that first touchdown play. I mean, my God, he returned that on a kick. So if you're talking about guys that did the most for his team, that's a Christian McCaffrey. Derrick Henry's an incredible player, but he did one thing for Alabama. You know what I mean? So this year's a little different because you've got the quarterbacks, and it's hard to quarterbacks generally do one thing. You know, they lead the offense, but I think Devontae Smith is just the most athletic and crucial piece of the puzzle when you look at all the Heisman players, you know? Like, yes, quarterbacks are important and you need them, but if they went down and you replace them, sometimes the guys that come in can do an okay job, but as a wide receiver, he's like the most integral part of that offense besides Najee Harris, like him and I'm surprised Najee Harris didn't get more love, but, you know.
Yeah, I was too.
He's a big guy. I love him.
Yeah. So are you going to be tuning in tonight, or do you just think it's such a blowout it's not worth watching? And because it's virtual.
Thought about it because I would love to jump on the virtual media thing, but I have a friend that's visiting me out here in Pebble, and we're actually going to go hiking in Big Sur after this. So we will be out of reception range. We're going to go watch the sunset, and it's actually a nice day. We've had a couple storms out here, so we're going to go take advantage of it.
All right. Well, I want to see pictures on Twitter. Okay.
That sounds incredible.
I will definitely post.
Okay.
What?
It just sounds incredible. I'm very jealous.
I am very fortunate to live. California is a mess in a lot of ways, but nothing beats being able to wake up and like run by the ocean and just kind of go out to a place that has no cell phone service and just unplug. I'm going to bring my golf clubs. We're going to hit golf balls into the ocean from a cliff and just kind of just veg. So.
No, NoCal is one of the most beautiful spots in the world. Where you're at, to
You
be
guys
that
better
close to
come
the
out.
ocean and that close to Napa Valley, that's everything I need right there. Well, even Sonoma, I don't care. I'll take Napa, Sonoma. Just throw me in the middle of a wine field.
We have wine country out here. Carmel Valley has some of the best wineries, believe it or not. Yeah, so.
Yeah, you guys, that's a lot of good Pinot Noir where you're at, right?
Yeah, Clint Eastwood is the mayor over here, and so he has his course at Tehama, and that's out in Carmel Valley where all the wine country is. So he's plugged into a lot of that stuff. Sometimes we'll see Clint wandering around. Pretty funny.
I think
He's
we just
getting
need
old
to
now.
take a business trip.
Yeah, I think we need to take a
Yeah, you guys should come out. Do a
The
remote
bars need to do
show.
it. A research and development business, because we got to
Yes.
find a new house wine.
Exactly.
There you go.
All right, so you said that you're calling the game down in Fort Worth, right?
Yes, yeah, I'm gonna be broadcasting the College Gridiron Showcase the whole week, where they run it like an OTA, and they do drills. They have a 7-on-7 scrimmage. It'll be minimal contact this year, obviously. And then the great thing about the College Gridiron Showcase is they do symposiums and talks for the players as well, getting them prepared for the next level. So it's an incredible event. I really like it.
Is that the same place where Anthony Carter suggested that rookies come in with like an entourage of posse and that they have fall guys?
I don't. You know what's crazy is I remember that video because it was so funny because it's true, and I remember watching that. I don't think that this is that event because this is only like a couple years old, but it very well could be. I'd have to look.
Yeah, and you said
I'd have to look.
is it the production? You said the production company. Is that who you work for?
So Brawl Network is a website and podcast network founded by Mike Brez, and he's a big sports media guy in Chicago, and he started it as a Bears kind of podcast, and it's grown into this incredible network. If you just go to thebrawlnetwork.com, we have writing, we have audio, we have video, and basically we partnered with the College Gridiron Showcase to do the live coverage. So we'll be having 2 stages out there on the practice field, bringing it to you kind of like you would see at the Combine, breaking everything down from the drills to the players who, I mean, there's so many interesting stories. We've got guys coming from Calgary, there's some from Montreal. There's players from all over, and a lot of them are seniors that didn't get to play this season because you're looking at smaller school guys. There are big names as well, but there'll be a lot of smaller school, 7th, 8th round draft picks. So it's an interesting event because you get to hear all of these stories about players, that they're interesting. Like they've struggled and been through it and they've made it. So I'm excited to tell those stories. I have a bunch of interviews with the players lined up this week, and we're going to find some diamonds in the rough, some Bill Belichick type guys.
That was kind of like your thing last year when you, the center out of Wisconsin who got drafted by the Cowboys, Tyler
Biadasz, love him.
And did you see Pro Football Focus? He was on the all-rookie O-line team.
I did see that. And he's an incredible – and he was such a quiet pick, and I think, honestly, it's because he's a quiet kid as well. And a lot of these guys that aren't flashy and all over social, no one's telling their story. So, I like to find those guys like Tyler and like some of the fullbacks that have come out into the league. I interviewed Naheem Hines a long time ago, did a big story for his draft stock when he was at NC State, and now he's killing it, with the Colts. So it's fun to see those guys do that. So I'm excited for this new crop, and I'm excited to get out there and broadcast. So it should be fun.
Well, if anyone's going to find the great story, it's going to be you. I mean, even going back to what you did last year when you were going around and when you could travel, not in 2020, 2019, and you were talking to the DJs of the different stadiums and coming up with
that will forever be my favorite series that I've written.
It was fantastic.
Confessions of a College Football Series. I'm going to start that up again when I can get around more, and when there's actually fans for DJs to play to. But to me, the synergy between music and sports it's such a compelling thing, especially nowadays. Rappers want to be basketball players and basketball players want to be rappers, and there's like this very thin line between the two things. And I think it's interesting to see how music, plays a role for these athletes. What they listen to before games is so important to them. It's like air. They have to have the music to play.
Oh yeah,
so.
friend of the show, Pat Anger. I mean, he wants to be Kid Rock. Yeah. He does. He wants to be him.
They all do. They want to be each other, and so I think I don't know. It's kind of fun to find that stuff. I like to know what guys listen to on the field before they play. You have to imagine that Peyton Manning listening to like Billy Rock, like old school cowboy music. That's what I feel like.
I think he just listens to Brad
I'm
Paisley.
always curious to hear that.
What's your favorite kind of music, Emily?
Ooh, that's tough. So I used to be a DJ back in the day.
Me too. It's funny.
Me too.
Yeah.
Different places.
Yeah, like vinyl though, like turntable DJ, right?
Well, mine's a longer story. I won't tell on air.
Okay, well, anyways, we could chat about that. So I like all kinds of music, but my dad instilled like classic rock in me, so we bonded over that when I was little. My favorite band is Dire Straits.
Ooh.
So I got
some Dire Straits vinyl at home.
Like, yeah, see, their music's incredible.
Dude,
so
the Sultans of
I grew
Swing
up
is
on
one of
that,
my
and
favorite songs. Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Mine's Romeo and Juliet.
Oh. I bet you were surprised by that answer.
I have a question for you on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread, okay? It's from Aaron Charles Aaron Charles Woolridge. Will Trevor Lawrence go back for his senior year since they didn't win a championship in his final year? Well, in this year, yeah.
That's a really good question. And I'm surprised more people aren't really like worried about it, but it's tough with Trevor. If they want him to come back, he would most likely come back because he's that guy. But you have to look at all the factors. Like when you're talking about the NFL draft year, okay, what other quarterbacks are coming out? How hard is it going to be for him to be that top pick, and what team is going to get him? All of those are going to factor in to his decision. And as far as I know about Trevor Lawrence, he's a very loyal guy, and he's newly engaged and he has his life kind of going in the direction that he wants. So I think he'll come out if it's the right situation with the right team looking like it'll get him and he goes high enough. But if it's not that perfect situation, I think he'll go back because he loves Clemson and he loves Dabo, and if Dabo asked him to come back, he would. So he's that kind of guy. So I would have to take a closer look at where he's going to fall in the draft boards and what that means for like the organization he'll end up in.
They're saying Jacksonville at 1. Yeah, that's the consensus.
Jacksonville at 1.
Well, here's what I'm gonna because of the loyalty, and you mentioned this, and friend of the show Matt Erickson. We love to recklessly speculate, and he does as well. He has a theory that Dabo goes to Jacksonville and takes Trevor number 1.
Wow. That's quite a theory.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Dabo would leave and go to Jacksonville?
It's really hard. And again, I've been more disconnected this year. It's hard to talk with coaches as much because of COVID, so I haven't really been able to stay in touch, and I don't really know where, his mindset is or where Clemson's is. But it's hard for me to imagine, having spent a lot of time around them the prior year, him leaving. Now, I know this year didn't pan out the way they wanted it to, but it's a COVID year. So, I don't know, that seems like a very big change to make amidst a year like this. So, I don't know. They've built that world around him out there. I mean, if you ever go to Clemson, South Carolina, it is Dabo world. Like, like Cowboy Stadium's Jerry World. Like, that's Dabo land out there. So it's really hard for me to imagine him leaving like that and leaving this way, Yeah.
I'm with you. And I think, too, like, watching the end of that Ohio State game and everything that kind of went down there, but the Kalski kid who got ejected, the class he showed at the end of the game, Dabo going up and talking to Justin Fields at the end of the game. I mean, it just to me, like, I'm not a Clemson fan, and it's not like, well, I don't necessarily hate them, but it's just like, yeah, they're successful and blah blah blah. But I thought that Dabo, his players, his team showed a lot of class, and so it gave me a newfound respect for that team, even though I'm not a fan and probably never will be. I'm like, I can't say anything bad about that team because I really liked what I saw. I really liked the sportsmanship and just dudes being good, honest dudes.
Ship.
Yeah,
it's a good program. Like, he does a good job. The kids really like him. He teaches them the right way. Everything I've seen, and like I said, I went through the facilities. I was given a tour. Like, I learned a lot about the Clemson way. I talked with Taj Boyd at length at one of the games, and it's people like to make fun of it because Dabo's kind of hokey and he's cheesy and whatever, but they have bought in there 100%. So it is hard to imagine him leaving just like that, Right. So I would say I don't see that happening. But so many crazy things. Look at Texas hiring Sarkisian. I mean, there's literally anything could happen. So who knows?
And before we let you go, because we won't talk to you till sometime after, who do you have in the national championship?
Bama, for sure. I'm doing Bama by 2 touchdowns, to be honest.
I'm calling the Ohio State upset. MLM. Just so you know.
my God.
Ohio State
Don't do that.
with a field goal to win it.
I think he's,
But
he's making
but
that
like,
stuff
why?
I don't know. I
But
just
like-
like
but like
their,
why is the
I
best
just like
thing.
to
Yeah.
be
To be
weird.
contrary.
Yeah.
You weird?
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, no.
You should see.
I
You
just
should
think-
see who I got winning the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Who do you have
God.
winning the Super Bowl?
Buffalo Bills.
I mean that, but see, I like that. Like, I'm with that. I like it.
I want to shake it up. They deserve one, right? They've lost so many.
Yeah, they have such a loyal fan base. They really
Right.
deserve it.
They
do.
really
And
do.
love
I mean,
their-
I feel bad for them. And that's another team I'll never like. I don't think I could ever like them. Like even if it came down to it, like I might divorce Jerry Jones and the Cowboys if they don't take care of Dak, but I wouldn't go and marry the Buffalo Bills. I couldn't. Just something about it. But I want to see.
Yeah.
I want it for their fans. I think they have good fans.
All right,
Yeah.
Emily.
I just think
oh, go on.
I don't know. I'm going Alabama. I think they have better tools offensively. They've played more games. They've been here more recently. Just everything kind of points to. And they played that game against Florida. That's got to be the best football I've seen all year. Just like as a unit and everybody stepping up in their role, even though it wasn't the prettiest thing. What I saw there looked like a complete.
Well, they're
national
definitely
competition.
stacked. I mean, I was looking at it
Yeah.
on some of the mock drafts. They have like 7 guys going in the first round. It's insane. I mean, they are that. I mean,
Yeah.
and those are some of those guys like right now, like Jalen Waddle. He's not even playing, and that dude's insanely good. And they're big Leatherwood. They're big tackle, and then they have another
they're
huge
big.
defensive lineman. I mean, they're just so good. Najee Harris, Mac Jones is
Najee
possibly
Harris,
going in the first round. I mean, obviously Devontae Smith. They got Patrick Surtain. It's just so many. Yeah,
But I
you're
think the
probably
Fields
right, and I'm
injury-
wrong. But I just
No, but I think the Fields injury is going to be. I mean, they're saying that he's fine. He's playing through it, whatever. But anytime you take a shot like that, it's still going to hurt, and especially when you're getting hit by guys like on the line at Alabama. But also, if Fields has a bad game, Ohio State they crumble. I've seen it happen when they played Clemson last year. If he doesn't do well and find his rhythm, then the whole team struggles. And that you can't say that about Alabama, because if Mac Jones is struggling, the run game steps up. Or if Najee's struggling and the run game's struggling, then Mac Jones steps up to Devontae. So I just
why
think
do you got to
that
be so smart at
Alabama has
football? What making me look bad?
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'll work on that.
You were right about everything. She's totally right.
No,
Bama's winning.
I'm rarely right, but I will forever take that I called LSU beating Florida.
Well, I was
because
just going to
nobody
say
had
you
them.
called that,
They were
so
the
I was going to say
huge
you're
underdog.
right. You're right at least once.
All right, Emily. Again, tell us about the network.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys are looking for incredible draft coverage, please check out the Brawl Network. We're going to be live broadcasting from the College Gridiron Showcase. I'm also going to be in Mobile, Alabama for the Senior Bowl with 3 of my girlfriends. We're going to be having an all-female team covering the event for Sideline Sass. We're going to be doing video, interviews with players, write-ups, everything you can think of. So definitely check out my website as well, and follow me on Twitter, Emilnem, EMILNEM. And I want to leave one last note. We didn't get to talk about this, but one of my good friends, Tony Franklin, he retired from coaching this past week from Middle Tennessee, and he wrote a letter to the game, to everyone that he's ever coached or touched or whatever. And I actually helped him edit it. He sent it to me months ago, telling me he was going to retire, and I helped him work through it. And I honestly think it's worth a read. If you are a football fan of any kind, please check out this letter. His name is Tony Franklin, and it's his love letter to football, but it is not your typical letter. He talks a lot about the brutality of the game, the things that he's seen, and there's going to be a lot more interviews coming from him in the next couple of weeks about the way that programs were run that he's coached at: Kentucky, Tennessee, Cal, and Middle Tennessee. He's got a lot of stories and skeletons, and he's ready to come forward with a lot of stuff. So keep an eye on it if you're a football fan. It's worth following.
I'm looking at it now. I Googled it. I'll share it on our Facebook.
You
live.
should definitely. It's going to make some people upset because he is a very unique perspective on the game. He's been doing it a long time, and he's seen a lot of stuff, and his viewpoints don't line up with a lot of people in the sport, but it is a refreshing, unique perspective, and it sides with the players. You know, he's always been an advocate for the players. Mm-hmm. So I cried when he sent it to me the first time and read it. It's very heavy, but it's truthful, and he's going to be speaking a lot of truth, and I think it's worth us paying attention. So
I'll definitely read it. I appreciate you sharing that with us. All right, well, enjoy your day, enjoy your hike, and we'll look forward. We'll look forward to following you, and we'll catch up with you real soon.
Thanks, Emily.
Sounds good. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Bye. All right, Assembly Van Buskirk, MLM on Twitter. Go follow her. You can just Google the Tony Franklin letter. That's all I did. One of them's on Football Scoop. I'm copying and pasting it right now on Facebook. And like she said, it's really about how it's a violent game, and I look forward to reading about it later. The other site she talked about was thebrawlnetwork.com. All right. So we're going to take a quick break. We come back. We're going to tier the games. We're going to let you know what games to circle over the weekend. I know Brad said on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread that he's going to be married to his recliner. But if you have to get away, if there's one game or one that you need to circle, or one game that you can get away for 3 hours from the TV to watch football because you need to spend time with your loved ones, doesn't have to be just a significant other, we're going to let you know which ones. We'll be right back. ESPN 1170 AM. Don't hassle us. We're local.
The Rock says he's going to make your Rudy Poo candy ass famous. You like that? You like that? Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
This is Matt Koss of the Quad City Times, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
All right, all you trivia fans, get ready to play the Big Brothers Big Sisters virtual Trivia Putt-Putt. Question 1. When can you play Trivia Putt-Putt?
January 27th through the 30th, and 5 different sessions are open for play.
That's right. And where will Trivia Putt-Putt be held?
It's virtual, and you can play from anywhere.
Right again. Plus, it only costs $30 to play. Be the smarty pants of your group. Go to triviaputtputt.org and sign up today.
Tanae and Golick Jr.
You can still push forward playing. It's an impossible tightrope. Was it really worth it for you to have to go and mobilize? Is it worth it overall? And that's the hardest thing for me to reconcile when you have a season that looks like the odds of you making it to where you want to go are very slim, and now you're putting people in position where it's not their best luck either.
Shanae and Golick Jr., 3 to 6 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170. The Max Kellerman Show.
Like, who was that, Greeny, who said the time to say about personal pride was weeks ago? I mean, I understand what he's saying. He's not wrong. It's fine, but I don't think it would have made a difference. Keyshawn saying they started Foles, and it's no. I disagree. The issue is one thing with Chicago. They have no offensive line, period. That's the whole problem. No offensive line. They have a thin receiving core, it's true, but no offensive line. If I had to design a football team, and I have like 10 spots where I can put all my resources, right? Where am I going to put all my resources? Like, what 10 spots do I want covered out of a roster of 50, right? I want a stud quarterback, of course, everyone does. My next 5 spots will be stud offensive linemen.
The Max Kellerman Show, weekdays at 2 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
At Crawford Company, we specialize in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. Sports, on the other hand...
Hey, Crawford guy, go long!
No, I can't!
Here comes the pitch to Crawford guy. Strike 3.
Come on, Crawford guy, take the shot.
Sports may not be our specialty, but home comfort is. Crawford Company, plumbing and drain cleaning, heating and air conditioning.
Hey, Quad Cities, this is Jay Bird from ESPN 1170 AM's Don't Hassle Us for Local, and I'm sharing some exciting news with you. BetMGM Sports is coming soon to Iowa. That's right, the same folks that light up the Las Vegas Strip with the world's greatest sports books and casinos will be offering real money wagering on a state-of-the-art app that's easy to use and features all of your favorite sports. Find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks with parlay bonus payouts, in-game wagering, boosted odds specials, daily promotions, and much more. Plus, every time you make a wager, you'll earn credits in M Life Rewards, the exclusive loyalty program of MGM Resorts. Now, every game and every play will mean something more, no matter what your favorite sport is. It's almost showtime, so get ready to experience sports like never before. Be among the first fans in the state to download the BetMGM Sports app, coming soon to Iowa. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older. Iowa only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
Is this a championship or bust year for the Brooklyn Nets? It should not be a championship or bust year, considering Kevin Durant is coming off an Achilles injury. Expectations for me, and I'm a Nets fan, will tell you, if we got to the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm okay with that. If they lose, I'll be disappointed, but okay, that's trending in the right direction.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
I can't tell you how many times I've been watching football and wanted to bet the game on my phone. Well, guess what? Now I can, because FanDuel Sportsbook is officially live in Iowa, and now you can register straight from your phone. To celebrate, they're kicking things off in a big way. FanDuel is giving new users their first bet risk-free. That's right, you'll get up to $1,000 back in-site credit if you don't win. Seriously. So not only can you bet on all your favorite teams, but you'll get up to $1,000 back if you don't win your first bet. And that's just one of the reasons why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook app. Ease of use, easy to register, easy to deposit, easy to find your bet. Live betting. Easy to place your bet fast during a game if you see a trend you like. So download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and be sure to sign up with promo code GOODALL so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code GOODALL. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Don't Hassle So Local. Once again, thanks to Emily Van Busker for calling in. Such a great phone call, guys, and just a wealth of knowledge, right, Jay?
Yeah, and if you missed any of it, you can always go back to Facebook Live and watch it there. You can do it on YouTube Live also. And then the first hour at 12:45, we talked to Cody Stutes out of Houston, and he's a Heisman Trophy voter. We obviously, that's tonight. That's going to be virtual. So let's see now. It's doing the quick math in my head. 85 years of the Heisman tonight.
Is that right?
Yeah, 1935 was the first one. 65 years plus 20, yeah. So
my boy's wicked smart.
Wicked smart. All right.
Smart.
So this weekend, we've got the playoff games. We've got 3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. And what we're going to look at is we're going to tier. We basically
we'll just
ranked
rank.
them. We ranked them, yeah. It's not
1
tier.
through 6.
Yeah. So
do you want to start at the bottom and work your way up?
Start at the bottom. The one that you're like, listen, I don't. You can move on from this one.
Well, Jay, I don't know if mine will be the same as yours, but
I think they're going to be awful close.
All right, I have New Orleans versus Chicago, and I know I know that for our Bear fans out there, I just don't expect much out of this game for you.
I do not agree with that.
You're the 7 seed. You backed into the playoffs. Come on, you know it. And New Orleans is pretty good. I don't imagine this being a great game. But at my 5, I could almost intertwine these two. So, who do you got?
It's Washington at Tampa Bay, but I probably should switch it, so I am going to switch it now.
I got Washington Tampa at my 5.
I'm moving. I'm going to have Washington Tampa at my 5 right now. I'm going to tell you that because I'm moving now. At my 5 after originally was Pittsburgh and Cleveland, but now with all these reports of this COVID thing, Cleveland's not standing a chance.
No,
I don't care if it's coaches or if it's coaches and like one wide receiver. I don't care. They don't have a chance. It's not even close. So that being said, if I move Cleveland and Pittsburgh down, either one that I had 5 and 6, those are both night games. Tampa at Washington is on Saturday night. Kickoff will be at 7:15. Cleveland at Pittsburgh is on Sunday night. That'll be at 7:15 as well. I look at it like either you.
I did my rankings not thinking about that.
Well, I automatically thought Tampa at Washington was. I mean,
well, it was on my lower tier, but I just thought it's all right. Here's my thought. All right, of the two teams that are in the playoffs that I feel aren't necessarily what are traditional playoff teams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking Washington and Chicago.
Okay,
they're not. Chicago loses to get in. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Washington is a losing record. They're both playing teams that have Hall of Fame quarterbacks. I just don't feel that these are going to be a good game. So you follow what I'm saying? Alex Smith versus Tom Brady and Drew Brees versus Biscuit isn't a matchup to me. That's great.
I'm just interested to see if that Bear defense can do some things to upset
I think they can.
Brees. So that's why I actually had them much higher than you did. Here's a fact for you.
Yeah.
This will be the first time in Tom Brady's career that he plays a wild card game not at home in his entire career. This is the first time he's on the road. So, it's not that big of a deal. It's just down the road. It's still part of that megalopolis area. All down the, well, not anymore, because I'm now thinking Boston area. But yeah, he's still on the East Coast. It's not like
he's
going to
be
travel.
fine.
So,
who do you got at 4?
At 4, I've got Buffalo and Indy.
Really? I got Seattle and the Rams.
I have them much higher. I've got Buffalo and Indy. I am intrigued by this game. Here's what gives me pause about this game, and this is my second year doing it.
I almost put Buffalo and Indy at 2.
If not my third year doing this, and this is my apology to friends of the show, Adam and Mitch. I can't tell you if I've watched not even a quarter of Indianapolis this year. I don't even know if I've watched an offensive series by Indianapolis this year.
Watched an incredible amount of it.
I mean,
I watched the game where Hines went off.
I know. I
know.
know.
Jonathan Taylor now
over my shoulder. I was at Caddy's 2 weeks ago when they blew the game against Pittsburgh. But really, and then I think what they did in the end with Jonathan Taylor, they relied on him where they ignored him from like weeks 3 through like 9, and now he's the number 3 rusher in the league. So I think the Buffalo thing.
Buffalo's great.
Yeah, they're good.
I got them at 3. I got Buffalo, Indy at 3.
Well, that's where I have New Orleans and Chicago. I do think.
I think the Buffalo Indy is going to be a nice little battle.
I think it will be too, but.
And I put Pittsburgh, Cleveland at 2 because it's a divisional. It's the third time they're matching up. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't factoring in the fact that everybody has COVID, so
yeah,
we don't know
like
what's going to go there. But what I'm saying is, this is still, the announcer, by the way, last week on this game, one of the announcers said, I wouldn't be surprised in the offseason if Myles Garrett and Mason Rudolph just get together and hash it out. I go, yeah, I'd be surprised, bud. That's not happening. Yeah, this idiot. Come on.
What?
Yeah, these are two teams that don't like each other. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a divisional third-time matchup between two teams. That's a great story.
I'm off on the stat, and I need
Whereas,
to follow
by the way, I maybe Seattle and the Rams should have been higher because of that too for me.
I'm off on the stat, and so I need to follow up on it. This is the 14th time in the Super Bowl era that teams that played in the last week met and played in the very next round. The wild card. And I think the team that lost is 8-6. So the Steelers lost to Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's 8-6. So the team that lost in that round and the final week of the season that went into wild card, they're 8-6. But with the Cleveland COVID thing, I dropped it down all the way to 6. I don't think Cleveland's got a shot. And Pittsburgh finally got the bye that they deserved, or just robbed of all year long.
I don't know. I guess I don't really want to see. I don't know.
So what did you have it to? I'm sorry. Was that Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh, Cleveland.
I have Seattle and Rams. I think this is an interesting game. Rams just seem to have Seattle's number most of the time, and I don't think Wolford is any worse than Goff. I have this as an upset on our thing anyway. So
Seattle's going to destroy them. I think I don't know. That's my thought.
You had them. Wait, you'd say they're going to destroy them, and you had them only at 3.5-point favorites.
Still, I don't know. You told me to guess what Vegas odds were. You didn't tell me what I thought.
You thought, yeah. And then we both have
Tennessee, Baltimore. That's going to be That's going to be fun.
So what you're looking at, Tennessee-Baltimore Sunday morning. So if you take a pass on Tampa Bay, Washington, and you go to call that date night, you're sitting pretty to be watching the best game on Sunday morning. If you take a pass on Tampa Bay, Washington, which you had at 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had at 6 and 5. We both had at 5. I moved Cleveland, Pittsburgh. So basically, if we're going to be in agreement, it's going to be Saturday night, little date night,
Mm-hmm.
and then Sunday morning, maybe brunch early, mimosas unlimited, and then say, sayonara, see you later. I got to go watch a game. I got to go see about a game.
Being that I put New Orleans, Chicago at 6,
yeah,
I'll be watching that game at Pints on Sunday.
You're going to be back in time for that? Yeah, you're going to be back in time? Okay.
Well, yeah, I gotta pay up my bet to Ozzy and the boys.
Oh, that's right. I got invited to that yesterday.
Yeah, I got.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm glad that we could talk today. Coral didn't shut up again.
I know. She needs to stop it, man.
It's so
Quit
much.
bumping your gums, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm trying.
I know you're famous on the internet now, so
yeah.
Just on TikTok.
Yeah.
So, those are the games that are ranked, and I'm excited for Baltimore, Tennessee, and I was surprised that Baltimore was favored. So it's going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, didn't we both have that wrong?
The thing is the one thing, we both had.
Yeah,
Baltimore's
we both
favored.
had Tennessee.
The thing about Tennessee is they're not good in the secondary, and Baltimore doesn't sling the ball all around. Like, they're more running, obviously. So that's where the matchup's going to be. And Baltimore usually does well against the teams that don't have a good up front that stops a running game. So, and we can say you can do all the DVOAs about Tennessee you want. They're going to make this game close. And I might be crazy, but I think the Rams are going to pull out the upset. Buffalo, Indianapolis, first game out of the way. I think that game should have been, honestly, Tampa at Washington should have been played the first game on Sunday, and Indianapolis, Buffalo should have been the night game. I'm sorry. I know Tom Brady moves the needle, but...
Well, that's it. You nailed it right in the head.
I might actually watch these.
That would be good.
I'd have something to talk about for once.
And the Baltimore Tennessee game should be at night. Cleveland at Pittsburgh should have been the noon game. But I'm not in programming. It's just the NFL puts what they want. And Steelers fan base, we know how great that is, the Steelers fan base. So that's going to happen. Cleveland too, more than Baltimore's got a good one, but more than Tennessee. All right, that's going to do it for today. I want to appreciate everyone. I want to thank Cody for answering our phone calls. I want to thank Emily as well. Hope she has a safe hike. Anything else, Coral, T-Ray?
I don't know.
All right.
Be safe.
Yeah, stay safe and sanitize out there. We'll see you soon, Quad Cities. Take care. See you tomorrow.
Adios. This is Lobo from Lobo Salsa. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Unfiltered. Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mahinte.
Two things. Number one, it feels like Adam Gase. It feels like this is a last-ditch effort. Not to save his job, but I think to save his respectability.